mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running the theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog ate it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday. We are going to take today's stream and we are going to fact check Bubbles' thing that was called a motion and an initial complaint, and we're going to fact check it against Larry's actual videos. I have all 3 videos in question. I was sent these videos from the source. So we are not going to watch them all the way. We will be stopping and giving our opinion. If you want to watch the complete videos, I will link all 3 in the description of this video to go watch on Larry's channel and give him the credit for the views that he deserves because he put in the work, the time, the effort. However, I am just going to fact check what Bubbles and his brain dead wannabe lawyer said compared to what was actually stated. And we're going to do a little fact check because that's what I love to do. I love to fact check people because technically is the word that my parents probably regret teaching me. But first, we have to do 2 things. One, we have to introduce my lovely co-host on Wednesdays, Spawn Trooper. And
I didn't do it. You didn't see me do it. You can't pre-fuck all. What?
And usually on Wednesdays, we talk aviation. However, after the events of September 10th, some new information that I am learned about September 11th, 2012, if y'all know what that is, you know what that is, that I have to dissect. Oh, you are covered in yogurt. I also have to go.
Shouldn't laugh.
I also have to go take care of that situation but first things we ought to do is we have to have a come to Jesus moment with chat. Over the last 2 or 3 streams that I've had, chat has been getting increasingly out of pocket. Y'all are normally a very respectful and very insightful community. And even when we don't agree, we are respectful to each other. When Musa Lady was on here the other day, there was some super inappropriate comments to the point where I timed people out. And y'all know how I hate timing people out. Come here, boo. Y'all know how I go to your bedroom and get a new pair. Go to your bedroom and get a new pair of pants. No. Yes. Come here, baby. Hold on. There you go. Okay, go get new clothes. Go get new clothes. Go get new clothes. So, this chat's usually a pretty respectful place. However, during my stream with Miss Lady, I made it. It was supposed to be a members only. I made it not members only specifically, so because some people asked me and wanted to see it. However, the level of disrespect that was showed to my guest is not appropriate. Not appropriate on any fucking level of no. Usually I'm a pretty tolerant person. Well, I'm getting old and I'm getting ornery. Fuck that shit. Anybody who shows any of my co-hosts and or guests on this channel any level of disrespect, I will time you out my damn self. I will not wait for my mods to give you 3 strikes and you're out. You can sit on this, spin all the way around, and fuck all the way off. There's one. Secondly, I read the documents. I am interested in the documents, what the judges will see, and fact checking the documents with what's in people's videos and or other things they've said. What happens on somebody's podcast or what they've been talking about on their channels, I do not give a crap about. Right now, in the past 3 weeks, if your name is not JD Piquel, Brooks Austin, or the Uncle Lou, I don't care about a fucking thing you say. That is college football. That is all I give a shit about right now. So for people to come in here and go, well, this number, if it is not in the damn document I am reading, I don't give a fuck. Also, I don't have people who send me documents and send me information all of the time. If you see a document here that is from Pacer, I paid for that fucking thing myself. Also, with all the documents that I am covering and all the cases that I do cover on Pacer, because I do not only cover what the hell, I am currently following no less than 10 federal cases. That is costing me an arm and a leg. I do not have people sending me things. And secondly, I don't make enough fucking money in super chats to justify paying dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars for documents that are not important, like a fucking cover sheet. So, excuse me if I get a little attitude-ish with people and when I don't care what happens in other people's fucking streams. We're just gonna get that shit out of the way. Some things like the FOIA request, which is why the civil rights case was delayed for so long because they were waiting on the FOIA request for the documents. That is important context. But what people talked about on a Tuesday night that they're looking into this, I just don't give a shit. After 7 o'clock Eastern time, my YouTube life goes out the window. It's Mr. Squid time, Baby Squid time, and I watch Bluey, Peppa Pig, and freaking Paw Patrol. I don't do live streams. I don't watch live streams. I have a really hard time even watching replays of live streams because I don't have the time. And I can't put shit on the TV because I get yelled at by a 3-year-old who is like, no, 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 no. So when I literally say I don't have the bandwidth or the give a shit, I really don't. I read what's in the documents and what is written. Somebody said it great yesterday, and I apologize to the person who said it that I don't remember who said it, but it was phrased perfectly. It was, I read what's in the documents, not what's said. I go based on what is written and what the judge will see, not based on this person said this person said this. Well, what about 2 years ago? If the judge doesn't see it, I don't give 2 flying fucks. Because my analysis and how I choose to view these cases is how the judge will see it and what the judge sees and how the judge makes decisions based on what he or she sees. That is all I care about. PSA over. I have to go get my toddler dressed because she managed to strip off her clothes, but she cannot get dressed yet. However, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I apologize about the attitude, but I have mentioned it so many times over the course of months, and people still try to say, well, Megan talked about this. Well, Tug talked about this. I have not spoken to Megan or Tug since last year. Let's not spoken to them. Well, I never really spoke to them anyway, but like even DMs. Have not DM'd them since last year. It is September. That is a long time. Someone could have had a baby between the time that I've spoken to them. So, like, I do my own thing. I don't make my content based on anybody else's and what they are doing on theirs. So I'm sorry if I had to get an attitude, but please do not disrespect me or my guests on my own damn channel. Usually I'm pretty tolerant, but I'm kind of at tomorrow is my 40th birthday, so today's my last day of 39, and we're going out with a motherfucking bang. I have to go get my toddler dressed, but Unhung Hero, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Get green, chat. And thank you for gifting 50 Squid Purple memberships. There will be a birthday stream tomorrow where I'm just going to ask me anything. We'll read some Reddit stories. I might have some wine. Who the hell knows? However, it will be members only because I just like my members. And Dan Davis, thank you for the $20 super chat. Here's my left leg and right arm. And I told you, until you recoup the money that you've spent on gas for your generator from Hurricane Helene, do not super chat me. I love you, but do not super chat me. And Andrea Myers, thank you for the $19.99 super chat pacer money. And y'all, that was not a guilt trip into sending me super chats. That is just a PSA that I do not make the amount of money that other YouTubers make. There are YouTubers that literally get $500 to $600 per stream in super chats. I do not. I am not complaining about that. I'm just being realistic with my budget versus theirs. We're just being realistic here. And I'm kind of like, we're just kind of here. So I am going to, and then Squaw Bob, thank you for the 5 gifted Squid Quo memberships. It is really good to see you. I feel like I don't see you as often as I used to, and I miss that, but it's good to see you. All right. Spawn, can you take over for like 2 minutes while I go figure out 1, where my toddler went, and 2, get her out of her birthday suit?
Yep, sure. Just a quick shout out to Andrea Myers and Dan Davis for their super chats. Thank you very much for doing that. And I totally concur to what Squid was saying. 1 second. And hello, everybody. Hi, Chris. Here's Chris. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I don't see you on YouTube chat. I see you on. There's something weird going on. Anyway, so you need to check. But if you've blocked me, but anyway, yeah, well said, Squid. Totally concur. People need to understand that. Look, everyone has questions, but when you get told 3 times or 4 times that it's not in a document, or no, it's not right, or at the end of the day, how are you supposed to know unless you look for it specifically? And to be honest with you, when it comes to these court cases, hi Daniel. When it comes to these court cases, it's an absolute freaking clusterfuck anyway. Pardon my French. And Squid goes on to Pacer and brings the documents. So therefore, you've got that evidence. You've got the factual proof in front of you, and you're seeing exactly what she's seeing. So wait, go what? Go. MS Coast Life. You want me to go to Liverpool? Are you absolutely insane? Not that it'll take me long to get there, but no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wouldn't go near that place even if I was paid. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think everything that Squad Bob, thank you very much for the $2 happy birthday. So I'll hit a like on that. So thank you very much. And anyone, tomorrow's a big day. And yeah, this was coming. Hi, Mama Squid. I could tell that this was brewing. I could, so please respect Squid, respect what she does. And I know that everyone's got questions, but let's just keep it civil, shall we? And if you get an answer and you don't like the answer, then sorry. Anyway, Spawn. It wouldn't be a trip in reverse to only get to the insanity for you. That's in the heart, Robert. That was in the heart. That was deep, dude. But yeah, so tonight hopefully we'll be talking about Deuce Foreskin and his antics of trying to sue people. I mean, I can hear. I mean, I can sort of imagine him going, "Oh, I'm going to sue everyone with a pulse." But who does he choose? He chooses the one person that even I would not start a fight with, and that's with a freaking professional lawyer. And in fact, I think that Bruce Matsky should take a page or two out of Larry Foreman's book. And now that our beautiful host is back, one thing I will say is that everyone who has sent super chats and supported the channel and supporting Squid, thank you so much. And consider and just give yourself a POB. Just go ahead, lean over, give yourself a POB a couple of times, and just know that like everything you do to support Squid is well accepted. Thank you so much. And I'm going to mute, and I'll tell you in private chat why.
And I didn't mean to get like rude or mean, and that is not directed towards any one person.
Stop. I'm going to say it right now. I'm saying it right now in front of fucking everybody. No, don't you put that girl in front of me and think that I'm going to lose. No. Do not explain yourself. Stop. There's no need for you to explain yourself. Move on.
All right. We're going to get into this.
Sorry to be firm, but no, you do not explain yourself.
Fair enough. All right. We're going to get into the first video, which is this one. Okay. I have all three videos lined up. I just had to look at something and to see which one was sent first, because they were given to me in a 1, 2, 3 order. And I just really want to make sure that I look at them in the 1, 2, 3 order. So, and then, Squaw Bob, thank you for the $2 super chat. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, sorry. I totally forgot. And back to you in the studios. Can you hear me, studios?
All right. And then Kirby, I am 3 months old, been here longer, the lurker. How are you, Kirby? And I hope to see everybody who is a member on the live stream tomorrow, because it's just kind of it's just kind of here. Squid has been told. And Kay, thank you. You're a great host. Never doubt yourself in what you do. It's just one of those things of like, y'all, like, I can only say it so many times before I'm like, foot down, done. So hey, Devil Dog Cody, I missed everything. Workload has actually been good the last couple weeks. Then I got hit with the flu. Well, damn.
Hide the crayons.
Oh. All right. So I just have to open up the I think because a little was on my computer earlier. I just have to open up the actual lawsuit to see what we're comparing it against. Now this is really what happens when you have so many people or so many different cases. You're like, where was that? What day am I on? And I've put everything to the side. I still have a Nikita Cassap hearing to go over from like 3 weeks ago that we still haven't hit up on this channel because we've just been too busy. All right, so the first one is scam attorney exposed before fleeing the U.S. And these, these videos obviously come from one of our favorite people, Larry Foreman, an actual lawyer who has professional ethics. Who would have thought? Like, where can we find more of that? All right. So I have it at 1.25 speed because literally we are just looking for certain statements that were made. And I am going to page 2 of this document is where it starts to talk about the facts. And I'll highlight these facts because you can make a fact out of anything, and I put it in quotations because you can turn anything into a fact if you take it out of context. And also, there is body language and inflection and tone of voice and things that go into a statement. Like if I say, and Spawn, I'll laugh at this. If I say Spawn is an asshole, if I say it in a monotone voice or I raise my voice, it sounds like I'm mad at him. But like I laugh and I say it, it's like, no, I'm making fun of him because everybody knows he's an asshole.
Well, hang on a minute. Excuse me, madam. It's Mr. fucking asshole to you.
Oh, my bad.
Right.
Sir.
Get it right next time.
Okay. Touche. But it's when you take things out of context and you put them in a way where they make someone look bad, that doesn't mean that they were intended that way, or when you watch the video in the context that you would take it that way. So I'm just trying to make sure that I line up
just for the record.
Uh-oh.
I have to come clean. I am a little bit of an asshole. Well,
we know that. But that's one of the reasons that we like you.
Yeah, but Squid, I told you, not in public.
Oh, and I apologize. When I was talking on Monday, I talked about Larry approaching 600,000 subscribers. He is currently at 606,000. So it's I'm just making sure that I'm on the right stuff because I don't also, like, even though I was sent these videos from the source, I also don't want to take advantage of the fact that I was given this information because I don't get sent things very often. So when I do, I try not to be a dick.
Rip Deuce in half. Folks, I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying this.
Sorry,
Deuce, anytime things start going south, he escapes. Why? Because that's what cowards do.
Okay, so that was in the intro. But was that said again in his regular? We're going to go right here. He needs to change this. I know this was back a few months ago, but like he's got to change that to 600K.
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law, folks. It is finally coming to an end. The end of Deuce. I am absolutely convinced that
taken out of context, the end of Deuce, that could be taken the end. What does the end mean? As we've seen within the last couple of weeks, the end could mean a lot of things. However, I don't think that is what Larry intends, if you know what I mean.
That as I'm recording this video, Deuce Bigelow, I don't know, what do I even call him anymore? BBB, whatever you want to call him, he's packing up his bags. He's donezo, he's gone. He's going back from whence he came before, because he used to live in Connecticut. Then he tried to scam a bunch of people there, probably. I don't know. I have no evidence of that. I'm just assuming because that's just who he is.
See, I have no evidence of that. Literally, he said, this is just me conjecture. Like, which is one of... the un could be a physical threat, which is how BBB chooses to interpret. Yeah, and it's and I know because he did change his channel name from DUI Guy Plus to Attorney Larry Foreman. So I know. I just and Lindy, I'm sorry, but like I said, Mama's got to make money, and the only way that I can do it is ads because I don't do the super chat money that other people do. So if you can tolerate listening to an ad for a few seconds and help me out, I would greatly appreciate that, because like I said, and hopefully when my dad retires, he can help me edit, because he knows more about that stuff than I do. And Papa Squid has 2 weeks left of work. 2 weeks. So that was one of the things where I don't have any evidence of that he mentions. And this is where you will see me going back and forth between documents, because it's crazy. I know, and that's the thing. YouTube was saying they were working on it, but apparently, I know it's not how Larry intended it, but in the last weeks, a lot are being interpreted as just, yeah, I know, and that I know. And that's one of the other reasons, like, and I have nothing personal against anybody. However, this is one of the reasons that I stress I don't talk shit about people on the internet. You do not know who I do or don't like. And I try to make that a point. Some of you know that I had beef with people back in the day. Don't care. Those people are worthless to me, useless to me. I don't care. They talk about me because they too, but I don't care. It doesn't matter to my life. I just do me. But I don't go around accusing people of things, talking crap about people just to talk crap about people, because that is how people can misinterpret things. So I just choose not to mention things at all. The end could mean he's done taking a crap. I know. It's just one of those things. And I say since Charlie, my life has changed in the way that I view things. I didn't talk to people that I don't like or don't want to associate with before, but now it seems like like I saw evil in people that I thought were not that way. So I'm not going there. This is why we don't talk crap about people in general. My mom taught me when I was little, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. However, Bruce, you were exempt from that. Oh, and I also want to dispel a rumor, because I was told that people were telling Megan that Bruce was in my chat. He was not. That is a parody account. Bruce Manskin. It's making fun of Deuce Foreskin. It's a parody account. I know who the parody account belongs to. And just because the actual Bruce Matskin got a gifted membership just means he subscribes. You don't actually have to be in the chat to get a gifted membership. You don't have to be present to win. And also, so I just want to dispel that rumor. He was not in my chat. Just like there was a Ray Bone Rusher here yesterday. That is another parody account. That is another thing that got under my skin about chat, was hearing that other people were going and telling other creators that Bruce was in my chat. He was not. And just for the record, may I? Yeah. Just for the record, here's the thing. This is why I always say, with respect, Squid, if I can just have the platform for a second. When I am live streaming, I always tell you, and I always say it, step out the box, take the blinders off, step away, and look at the bigger picture. Because anyone who actually made that statement about Bruce Matskin being in this stream, anyone with any normal common sense would have seen Bruce Manskin in chat, which was grey, and the membership gift with the name was green. So if Bruce Matskin, for example, would have been in chat, his name would have been highlighted as green. Okay. This is what's causing some of the issues, is because people seem to assume before they actually realize what's going on. And all it takes is that couple of seconds. Well, hang on a minute. He got a gifted membership.
And here he is in chat, but he's wait. Well, okay, because the thing is, it's automatic. Like, even if Bruce Manskin came back in here, and if he did, you would notice he would be grey. He won't be green. Okay. The second point is, not everyone is going to agree with each other. There are people out there who will flap their gums and try to take control of the narrative and change it to their rhetoric. Okay, so, and people are not going to agree. Now, in the first 30 seconds of Mr. Foreman's talking on his video, right, it's conjecture, it's speculation. I mean, like, they have basically taken his words and they're taking what they think they can twist and turn into a negative. All right. So please, 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 I'm going to say this one more time. Please step out of the box. Please take a look at the bigger picture. All right. Not one of you is unintelligent. Not one of you. You're all very intelligent people. All of you are. All right. So please just take a look at the picture. Squid, thank you very much. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you.
No problem. And Jeff is right. It is best to ignore passing of information due to what's called Bartlett's theory. This is why second-hand and third-hand accounts are not admissible. And once again, I was sent the links to these videos from the person who made them. So this is why we are showing them and comparing. If you want to watch the full videos uninterrupted without me interrupting and giving my opinion, you are free to do so. All the links for the videos will be in the description, as well as Larry's channel, because if you don't subscribe to Larry, you should, because he did a great job on Karen Reed. He did a great job on back in the day. I say back in, it wasn't that long ago on Depp v. Heard. He does a lot of good things outside of all of this drama.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
showing some past cases of his own,
I
But
mean, the thing is, with the thumbnail case and everything else, there was a lot of comedy. There was a lot of sarcasm. Okay, I clocked that sarcasm instantly, and he can become very sarcastic if he wants to. And like everything he has said, right? I mean, the guy is a freaking lawyer. He's not going to say something before he thinks about it. Whereas Deuce Boy, he will open his mouth, which is his art. Do you know what? I'm surprised his ass hasn't sued his face for the amount of shit Bruce Matskin talks. Serious. I'm sorry. I'll mute myself.
No. So I've also, there's another thing about Larry that is very different from Bruce, how they operate on YouTube. So Larry has edited videos, so he can watch himself back, even though I believe he has, at the size of his channel, probably has someone to help him, my guess. However, putting that completely aside, yeah, he never asked for this shit. Larry edits his videos, so he watches them back, and when he says something when he's recording, probably, I don't know, this is my conjecture based on just the editing process, watching stuff back, kind of like Jeremy does, watching it back and being like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, let's edit that out, or I can re-record this part, or on any of his videos. Whereas Bruce will sit on somebody's live stream, and sorry, the thing about live streams is they're not edited. What you say is what you say. Yes, you can go back after the fact and edit stuff out. However, it doesn't, someone can always screen record. And yes, people do have clipping turned off. However, you can always go and screen record. And in that screen recording, once you set it, you can't unsay it. Versus Larry, who is calculated, makes videos. And that's one of the reasons I wish I was better at recording and editing, is because you get specific, like you can say, oh crap, I probably shouldn't have said that, or that sounds a little like it could be taken a different way. Let me edit that part out. But Larry's very calculated in releasing videos instead of going live every day or every other day or whatever, and just sitting on a platform for hours and hours and hours at a time.
Mm.
I know people have done that. Vices did that, but Vices wasn't also talking about active cases that he was involved in.
I miss that guy.
I do too, every day. Like yeah.
Yeah, move on. Yep.
Anyway, before I start bawling my eyes out because I
Yeah.
miss him, but Timothy, glad to know you're home. Did you wave when you drove by?
Mm.
'Cause,
Yeah, he
It's-
came in my stream and saying he was traveling. He had 158 miles to go, and I just
Yep.
turned around and I said, "Listen, sunshine, if you feel tired, pull over. I'd rather you get home safe than
158 miles really isn't that long.
it can be
of a-
cheap."
It can be, but remember the one of the cultural differences between here and there is we do that on the regular. Like
Yeah,
we
but you
we
don't
will
have
take a day
bends.
trip. I will take a day trip, which is Charleston, which is about the same distance that he drove in a day. We'll go there in the morning and come back at night.
Yeah, but the thing is, you over there, this is why your cars are built like fucking tanks, because you never use bends. You don't go around corners that much because every street is richly square. And the thing is, one thing as a driving assessor, one thing I noticed with people driving a long distance, it may be 50 or 60 miles, after about 40 miles, 50 miles, right, you start getting tunnel vision, and that's where all the problems start. That's when you start getting tired, you start getting, your body starts tiring down, and you start just fucking staring ahead, and you don't see things.
And Hazel Maniengo, thank you for the £5. Good evening and good Abend.
£5 is just under $7. That's a browner. That's a good one. That'll cost you. That's a pint of beer. How much is beer in it over in there?
It depends on what kind of beer.
Well,
but I don't know. I haven't bought beer in a long time.
No, right. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to one thing I like about Mr. Foreman is he doesn't mince his words. There's no there's none of that. He says it as it is, and that's what I like about him. And also his appearance is very professional. I mean, like this is the perfect. I mean, I have never seen Randy. None of us have. But I would presume that Randy is exactly like Larry in a personality sense, like professional and well dressed, and
Undertaker on the way to ER, bad pain, left side of body. I hope everything is okay.
Hey, Undertaker, lift your arms above your head and straight up, okay, and tell me if there's pain.
So,
Right, okay,
I did find the where this came from. This was in paragraph 34 of the facts.
Yeah.
And all they did was quote him. All they did was quote him. They didn't say, and that's the other thing. Whereas these quotes that are in this lawsuit are not, they're not explaining why that's defamation or that's whatever.
I think it's just conjecture. I think what they're doing, they're taking out, when you say like,
There are other cases where outrage and false light.
Right. When you say a full sentence, all right, and then you only take the negative out of that sentence. So if it was a constructive criticizing sentence and they take out the negative and use the negative as a statement, but don't use the whole narrative of the sentence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will look at this that he's talking about, and then I have the actual paragraph, and we will see if, because all the other things too was this quote chopped up, because it literally is one quote, and I want to see if there's anything in the middle that they didn't put in. And this is why we do this, is because I want to see if these quotes are actually, because you can make a quote but take a chunk out of the middle and it sounds way worse. But we'll get back to Larry's video.
Yeah, can we make a suggestion? Is I think it's this first quarter, because he's got it in segments. If you play this segment here, I think, because I can remember this video and it was quite telling, and there's nothing in it that.
Well,
Sorry.
what he started, the sentence he started talking about, where he said he can flee to another state like he did before. He went from Connecticut to, I have that paragraph. So I'm going to make sure that we're seeing the right parts of this video.
And that's what he does. He scammed Scott Stark. He scammed Lynette. He scammed John. He scammed David Helm. He scammed a lot of people. And I think he is having trouble making ends meet because people don't like to be scammed. And when he's exposed, he has to relocate. This is a very common tactic for scammers and con artists. Believe me.
Believe me, I know.
I mean, that there, right, is not an allegation. It's not a that there is a speculation to me. Because at the end of the day, he did. I mean, he used Scott Stark's signature and even got that fucking wrong. And he was using him, right? Because Scott Stark is a lawyer himself. So why is Bruce getting Scott Stark, writing the documents and then handing it and using Scott Stark, may he rest in peace, using him as a fucking as a patsy?
Well, here's the first. In this part of the video, he showed him packing a bag. He showed a B-roll footage of someone packing a bag.
Yeah.
Here's I'm going to show the document, what I'm looking at. And this is, sorry, I
just realized I still got my, there you go.
So
I mean, I call that satire.
This was the phrase or the paragraph that he just, and I want you to look at something important before. So this is the what do I even call him anymore? BBB, whatever you want to call him. He's packing his bags. He's done so. He's gone. He's going back from whence he came before because he used to live in Connecticut. He tried to scam a bunch of people. Probably, I don't know. I'm just assuming that's who he is and that's what he does.
Yeah,
all the stuff that was edited out. He scammed a lot of people. I think he's having trouble making ends meet because people don't like to be scammed. And when he's exposed, he has to relocate. This is a very common tactic for scammers and con artists. Believe me, I have firsthand experience with those myself, where we just ended. Look at the paragraph before. So, Foreman couples this claim with allegation that Matzkin had fled or would imminently flee the country to evade justice, that he would now reside in his wife's home country, Armenia, stating, Deuce, anytime things start going south, he escapes. Why? Because that's what cowards do. This flight to Armenia that's supposedly the subject of his third video never happened. Matzkin never left the country. Every single assertion in this video is a fabrication. He starts out looking at the video. So reading it, it sounds like it sounds as though Larry starts out the video. If you were just to read this paper and you had no knowledge of Larry, you had no knowledge of anything.
Mm-hmm.
You start out reading this as if he literally said or showed a map of Armenia, or all he showed was someone packing their bag.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I fucking hate about lawyers. This is why I hate lawyers. And this is no offense to Larry, because you seem like a better lawyer than most.
He is.
Well, they frame it as he's packing his bag to Armenia. Larry never said that. Larry never said that. Never implied it. He just said he's packing his bags. That could be from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, he's a pro hoc vice lawyer in Florida. Pack your bags. Time to go back where you came from, which is Massachusetts.
Or Connecticut.
Or
can I make an observational comment that's just dawned on me now that we're sort of dissecting it? Whoever wrote this, and Bruce, you got gifted a membership yesterday. I know I assume you're sitting on the outside there. I suggest you get your fucking act together, because Here's the thing: when you go to court, Mr. Foreman can use those videos as evidence. Okay, and what you've wrote what's put in 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. You just richly buried yourself in what's it called? The court not like what's it called? Starts with a P.
Perjury.
Perjury. There you go. So good luck on trying to dig yourself out of that one, because that's already on the docket. And yeah, there you go. Bloody hell! It just fell together.
Yes, it's like here, wordsmithing. Thank you. Thank you to the chat. I know we had an interesting first 5 minutes of me having to clear the air on some
Explaining
topics.
yourself.
However, this is one of the reasons that I love the chat, because wordsmithing, my brain can't come up with some of you guys phrase things better than I can a lot of the time. And I don't know if that's because my butt is sitting in front of a camera, and things change when you're sitting in front of a camera. I have learned, even when I am in somebody else's chat versus when I'm on camera with that same person, things are different. My brain works better when I'm behind a keyboard and not behind a camera.
That's why I'm here to help you.
So I do, yes, wordsmithing, thank you, Robert, is the big thing, because that's what I hate about lawyers. That's what I hate about people, because lawyers are not the only people to do this. Politicians do it. Even YouTubers who are in the like political sphere, journalists do it. You phrase things in a certain way to make things look different than they really are. And this is where it's like, because and this is the other reason that I'm glad we're doing this on 2 separate days. We read through this document in full on Monday, and we're dissecting it today. So we've had a couple of days to process the information. But this is also why I look at the documents and not all the context and the things going on out of court. Because if I were the judge and I was looking at this, it sounds worse than it really is. So to the judge, oh, he said they didn't quote it, but he must have said, they're implying that he said he's going to Armenia, where it's like, no. No, Deuce, anytime things start to go south, he escapes. Why? Because that's what cowards do. Talking about the context of him being a pro hoc vice lawyer in Florida, packing his bags and going back where he came from and out of the Florida courts. Could be Connecticut, could be Massachusetts, could be Armenia. Hell, we don't know. However, you spin it in a way where it sounds worse than it actually is. Can you get your hands, please?
I mean, Deuce Boy, I mean, to be honest with you, all I've ever learned from Deuce is it's excuse after excuse, fabricated like lie after lie, excuse after excuse. And this here, right, again, is probably going to be one of his little tactics. He's either trying to deflect or he's using subterfuge, one of the two, because this is not going to help him in one bit. In fact, this is probably going to end his career.
I will be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. Because to be perfectly honest with you, the fact that the words in this document and the words actually said from the horse's mouth, pardon the expression, Mr. Foreman, is completely the opposite. It's basically day and night. And I predict that, like, I think by Bruce doing this, he's going to push it to a certain point, and then he's going to do exactly the same with Larry Foreman, what he did with the thumbnail. He's going to try and do an out of court deal, right? And that's as simple as that, right? And the way I see it is that there's gonna be a couple of like 3 or 4 documents from Larry. There's going to be 3 or 4 documents from Bruce, and then suddenly there's going to be like, you know, when they have to mediate or communicate, you know, suddenly there's going to be like, let's do a deal out of court. And I hope that Larry does exactly the same he did on the thumbnail, where he goes, nope, we're going to court. Right? Because I mean, this whole situation is just getting stupid now. It's fucking predictable, to be honest with you. And I know there's a lot of people who have opinions about this case and everything else. And yeah, some of those opinions are very, very valid points. But we all know how this is going to end. We all know. I mean, let's not fool ourselves. We know what's going to happen. It's going to end up with Deuce Boy in even more trouble, him trying to do a deal, or both. He's going to end up in trouble, and he's going to try and do a deal. And I hope Larry countersues. I hope he countersues for making false accusations and claiming false narrative.
Right here. I don't understand how BBB still has his law license.
I don't know if you know, but in the 90s, around 95 to 99, all right, Kellogg's and Weetabix, I think it was Kellogg's and what was it, Puffs, Snack Crackle and Pop. They actually put licenses in their boxes, so you know, and it was like, you know, one in 1,000, I think, and I think that Bruce Matskin found the Kellogg's box and found that license and just put his name on it.
It's but we found the phrase or the paragraph. So I always like to take it out of context or find it, read it, and then read what's before and after, because that's not just the context of the video side, but also where that paragraph was placed in the context of the lawsuit. Followed the renewed false allegation of criminal and fraudulent activity. Foreman adds, Deuce, anytime things start going south, he escapes. Why? Because that's what cowards do. Let's see what he has to say. It's just one of those things of like,
Just before we carry on, I want to do a prediction. I wanted to say this at the beginning, but I'm going to do a prediction. I say there's going to be at least a dozen, probably a half a dozen filings from each side. And Deuce Boy is either going to try to do an out-of-court deal, or he's going to pull out, which his old man should have done. But I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll mute myself. I'll go into my corner. No way.
I was like, he's not going to say it. He's not going to say it. He's not going to say it. And he said it.
Yeah, well, but this is, I mean, out of all the cases, I know there's some serious shit going on with these cases. We can't laugh about these cases. But this one, I mean, come on. You've richly destroyed your own case in your freaking document here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of times where they like dismantle their own case, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer by any means, but like sometimes you just look at stuff and you're like, wait, what? Would BBB filings be vexatious? That I'm not entirely sure of, because of the fact that this is his own personal lawsuit. He has not actually sued anybody else. He's threatened to sue a bunch of people. However, certain people like yours truly, when somebody has their name in a police report, you get a little less likely to sue them because you have your name in a police report. Which I immediately went when he threatened to call CPS on me and started talking shit, like threats like that. I immediately went to the cops that afternoon and said, this is the situation. This is the threat. I knew they can't do anything. They told me to file a police report in his own jurisdiction. However, I have a paper trail. And
Do you know,
when you go to sue me for something, I can be like, well, here's your paper trail. But
here's one thing
I don't know if it, as far as Sharon's question, I don't know if it would be vexatious because this is literally the first suit that he's actually filed with his name on it.
But here's my question to you. Well, this is going to be a funny question, actually, and just watch chat explode. When do you think the first GoFundMe or gifting goes up for legal fees?
I'm pretty sure there's already been one because, well, Sharon just brought up Ecosystem collected $2K for BBB to show in Pensacola and no show. And it was like, so, you know.
Yeah, the day he didn't show up, people should have went back on there and asked for their money back if it was a GoFundMe, because you can actually do that. You can actually, request a refund. But I don't know how long you've got until it says nope, no more refunds.
And Tyga, I got it. You were making a joke about countersuing. What would he countersue for? No, pennies that Deuce doesn't have. Sorry, let me mute myself. I got it. It was in regards to the countersue. It was just, and I'm sorry to Larry. Like, I just now looked at this and is like, looked at where I stopped the camera, and I'm like, I made it like,
yeah, you're like, crazy man.
oh my goodness.
I think he just came back from. I think he just came back from Italy when him and his partner went to Italy. Didn't they come? I think this was just after he came back or before he came back.
I think, honestly, I don't know. The part of not being able to watch things when they come out right away or lives or anything like that is, I don't know timelines. I do know these videos were March, April timeframe. So, oh yeah. Not denying that. At least I caught him in a smile instead of
at least he could do a decent Windsor knot.
I'm digging the pinstripe suit with the tie though.
I'm like, I like that Windsor knot. That's.
You would like a Windsor, wouldn't you?
Easy, Tiger.
I have firsthand experience with those myself, but we won't talk about that. And he moved to Armenia in 2013. Megan Fox, shout out to you, Megan Fox, writer. On August the 28th, 2013, she sent me the article written by Deuce himself. He said that he is moving to Armenia, and he moved
to
Armenia.
Oh, see?
Because that's where his wife.
There you go. Let me pause him. And I didn't mean to like keep hitting the pause button, but I didn't want to give him a pause where it was like, where people normally.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Just very quickly, do you remember that when Bruce Matskin was trying to intimidate me and trying to come after me, but I shot him down on every corner, and then he put the link to his divorce in the Facebook group, and my comment to that was, yeah, I've already had that, I've already seen it, and that's when he made basically, I did the research. It took me 5 minutes, and I actually found that information of 2013 when he was in a studio in Armenia. So yeah.
Robert says JH can be very hysterical when you pause him. Most people can, because most people are like, but Larry tends to still look professional. I know, right? And I wanted to put him like when I paused the video, because this is
Robert De Niro. There you go.
Streamlabs to StreamYard. The last time I did this was when I was on Streamlabs, and it was a lot easier to switch between documents. So I'm trying to get used to StreamYard again, which makes it a little bit more difficult. However, I'm just going to read the document of what is brought up in regards to this video.
Can I just say something very quickly? Sorry to interrupt.
You got 5 seconds.
Make it 6. Look at his face, Robert De Niro. A little bit. He's got a little bit of Robert De Niro in that face expression. Sorry, carry on.
Like I said, if this goes to court, I have a river pass to get me through the Louisville tollways, because that's one of the ways I take to drive home. And I will ask Mr. Squid if he wants to take a mini vacation, and we will go to Louisville for the week.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Fly on the wall. Oh, yes.
I will go to, if I can. All right.
Breaking news.
He goes, Foreman then digs up an old article written by Matskin relating to the stresses of practicing law and remarks, he just made it up. There's nothing there. He was lying to people, was scamming people, he was stealing people. Probably, I have no proof. But if he did it does it now, he did it back then. People like that don't change. He brought up the article relating to... Okay, we got to keep watching the video, because when he brought up the video... when he brought up the video, that's not what he was talking about. Or he brought up the article. Larry brought up the article, showed it, said who sent it to him, and said that he went back to Armenia back then, but never mentions that. And this is why I love comparing and contrasting what is said in the actual document to what is said in the videos in question. Because I would love it if Megan and Tug gave me permission to do this, and even some other people gave me permission to do this with their videos compared to the lawsuits that were filed against them, because this is amazing to me, because we're comparing what is said and it makes it sound worse, but it's like, wait, there's like 2 minutes of text or of conversation between when he brings up the video or the old article and when this is said. So we will keep going. But Robert brings up a good point. This just occurred to me. BBB has been saying that JH is a contrived bad neighbor for content show. Does that mean his bad lawyer? This is his bad lawyer begging spinoff. I don't just. This is
insanity. That's what it is.
Yeah. Like
wife is from. I told from the beginning, I knew that they were Armenian. Like, at least she is. I don't know about him, but maybe he's got ancestry. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Who cares? Nobody cares. It's whatever.
I mean, not to stereotype, but I watch a CrossFit podcast named Savan, and he is Armenian, and the size of his nose, it's an Armenian thing. Gotta be. Not to stereotype, but like, there's some Armenian there.
I could say something now, but I'm not going to. I'll say it privately.
Okay.
His nose was used as a lever. Sorry, what?
Well, maybe it grows every time that he doesn't tell the truth.
No, I think he got dragged. I think like they used, instead of the tweezers to pull out a baby, they used his nose. Sorry.
But for those of you who have ever watched the Savan podcast, I love Savan, don't get me wrong, but he makes fun of his own nose, and he's Armenian, so it kind of fits. So,
where your ancestry is. I'm Russian and Jewish, and probably I have some Lithuanian in me, and Ukrainian and Polish, and I think I'm like 2% Chinese according to my genetics, whatever. Which I'm.
Hey, he's Finnish. I'm 25% Finn. I'm sorry, this is fascinating to me. Sorry, Larry.
Oh, Moscow Oblast. Fucking hell. That's he's got some possibly some royal blood in him.
That explains a lot.
No, because Moscow Oblast was one of the very prominent royal, sort of like when the Tsar was still alive in them days.
Smells like desperation. Dan, you made me laugh. Oh my goodness. All right.
Look at that look. Look. He's looking. Look at that fucking face. You're like, wait, what? What? Western European? How dare you, sir?
Yeah, BBB would never make fun of his own nose. No sense of humor whatsoever. I know. Isn't it like you can tell someone's personality by their sense of humor? Like, if they have a good sense of humor, generally I find them to be a good person, truthful, non-violent, all of this. If someone is has no sense of humor, I don't trust them no matter what they say or what they do for a living. If you don't have a sense of humor, and if babies don't like you, pets and babies don't like you, and you have no sense of humor,
Yeah. Well, apparently I don't have a sense of humor.
well,
Apparently I have a sense.
your sense of humor is just British, and it's weird to begin with.
Easy, Tiger. My sense of humor is sarcastic, with a little bit of satire and a lot of facetiousness. So there you go.
You can really tell Larry spends a lot of time in front of juries and is very aware of how he is perceived and seen. Yes. Yes. And unfortunately, I hate to do this, but it's the way the brain works. First impressions and how you look actually matter. I know that's awful to say. However, that is the way the brain works. Sorry, I have a brain book right here written by a professor. Like, our brain makes first impressions based on how someone looks. It's sad to say, I hate to say it, but it's true. And sometimes the truth isn't always nice. But you can tell that Larry puts time and effort into how first impressions and how he will be perceived, even from the very beginning of his videos. Other people, including myself, sometimes do not. And it shows. Yeah, marketing is at the root of everything. Yeah, context is everything. Using quotes to say other things is slimy, very, very slimy. Yeah, and it's he in the text, and I'm referring straight back to the text. He said, Foreman digs up an old article written by Matskin relating to the stress of practicing law and remarks, he just made it up. There's nothing there. He was lying to people. He was scamming people, stealing from them. Probably, I have no proof. But it's just, if he does it now, he did it back then. It made it sound like he brought up the article and then instantly started talking about Bruce. This is now a minute between the time he brought up the video or the article and said that Megan sent it to him, and he still has not started talking about it. So they contrive things, and it's like it'd be different. And I hate the way the wordsmithing is, where it instantly sounds like he brings it up and starts talking about it. It's like, no, he doesn't.
And a big thank you to Liz Bird for the £5 quid.
Liz Bird, thank you for the quib?
Well, you can say just say £5 quid.
£5 quid. That's like slang for pound, right?
Yes, it's just like you can say the word twat very professionally. So, but don't say it now. No,
you're the only person who said I said it right.
Yeah, you did say it right, and I was really surprised and proud of you as well.
The trial channel cuts out the sidebar, etc., for the Adelson and Karen Reed hearings. If you do wish to catch up without commentary, donation towards FOIA. Oh, thank you so much. And Liz and I were talking in your stream about her catching up with Adelson and Karen Reed. Yeah. And it's, yeah. And I still have to go through I have the entire trial transcript of Sarah Boone that I need to go through and find the sidebars, and we need to read those sidebars. See, I'm so behind on content because of certain other things. But like, I don't know. I feel horrible for Larry that he has to deal with this headache. However, this is like content just got like dropped in my lap.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I would love to fucking talk to him and just ask him, what went through his mind when he heard about this? Did he laugh first, and then laugh?
I had messaged him because, like, y'all know how I operate. I don't like I don't believe what I see on Facebook in groups. No offense to, but if I don't see documents, I'm very leery. So I messaged him and I asked him. And I'm like, I didn't mean for him to, I don't ever mean when I message somebody for them to take it like, help me, send me stuff. I just want to know if from the source, if what I'm hearing is accurate, because I don't like rumors. I hate rumors. As someone who's been on the bullying end of rumors from certain other people, when I hear stuff, I'm like, let me.
And
Figure this
just
out.
just a very quick note. If you're going to use the word twat in a sentence, you need to make absolutely sure you make sure that if it's in gist, or you're actually saying, "Hey, you're a fucking twat." Right? It's one of those words that, yeah, it's banter, but just so you know.
And he was very nice enough to help me out with this. However, like I don't, and that's one of the reasons I'm like, I don't expect, like, you know, I'm a very independent person like that, as far as like, I just wanted to know if it was true and what county it was in. That's all I wanted. Like, I just wanted to know if it was true, because I always ask the source.
Mm.
Even if it's a creator with like 1 million subscribers, I've still DM'd them and be like, I heard this rumor, is it true? And sometimes they get back to me, sometimes they don't, but I always ask the source, because I'm like, I don't trust the rumor mill. So, but we'll continue to watch this, because we're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we've successfully made it 2 minutes and 40 seconds into his video.
Right, let's go.
Probably need to delete, since they're filing for bankruptcy and selling all of my data. Hooray! But anyway, that's besides the point. Deuce, anytime things start going south, he escapes. Why? Because that's what cowards do. That's what people who have no spine and no testicles do. Men, of course, is what I'm talking about. His wife, I don't know how guilty she is in all of this. She married him, so that's on her. She has.
Okay, so they
Sarcasm.
Well, here's the thing. So yes, sarcasm, but I have to bring up the document for this instead of just switching like and reading it, because look at the order of what the video said and what Larry said in the video versus what is presented in the document. So he said, I've had firsthand experience with that myself, but we won't talk about that. And then Foreman adds, Deuce, anytime things start to go south, that's what cowards do. Look at Foreman then digs up an old article written by Matskin. Nope, you got this backwards.
Yep.
He dug up the article first and then said this other paragraph. Like, do you see how when people write things, and this is why I like analyze writing, it's not about who wrote it so much as how they wrote it. This is why when we fact check articles from the mainstream media, we look at how it's presented and what is said and what is not said, and the order in which it is said. He messed up the timeline.
Not just that. It sounds to me that, like, basically by putting that afterwards, they're trying to make it look even worse. That after he said that he went and done the research, where in fact it's the complete opposite.
And be it he brought up the article, but he didn't read it. However, when you say he had already said this, she married him, so that's on her, blah, blah, blah. He dug up the article first. He showed us the article first. So yes, rewriting history to fit a narrative.
Yep.
And that's what I can't stand about people. This is not a lawyer specific, but more like a journalist or anybody who writes. I've even seen doctors, when they write notes, like write out of order things that I look at it and I'm like, that's not how, like, you're writing about someone walking or someone not being able to walk. Then you write about them in bed. It's like, no, that's not the natural progression of how your visit went. I was there. I even can't stand that. It's like timeline, get your timeline straight. And it's like, and Stats, thanks for the $1.49 super sticker. I really appreciate it. Like, it's little things like this that I just.
What I can't understand is, like, obviously, whoever wrote this must have watched the videos to bring them up in the first place and to use them as evidence. But what I can't understand, why flip it? Why put it in backwards? Because to me, you're making it sound like he did the research after, whereas he was given that screenshot, and he even says it. he was given that screenshot and spoke about it. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to paint a picture, basically a dark picture about Larry being, trying to, I don't know, they're just trying to make it more negative. Whereas, like, had they put that sentence about the document in front, then they would have had a little bit more power, more clout, so to speak, if you want to say, because it would have been more.
To put it backwards seems very bad faith. And
Yeah.
this, I am not, like I said, I have not spoken to Larry about this. He just was nice enough to lead me in the right direction of the paperwork. However, this right here, the fact that this is happening, and I noticed that this is happening, I guarantee you, because it's his video and he made it, he knows that this is happening. This is one of the reasons he will not settle. I'm willing to put my money on the fact that he will not settle this because of the fact of the misrepresentations in this document. I mean, there's probably more to it than that. I'm not going to put myself in Larry's shoes or put words in his mouth. But Jeremy is not settling for many reasons. The way things are written and how Jeremy and now Larry are being presented to judges versus what actually happened. The actual videos may not be seen because I don't think they put the links to them in here. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But in order, it has to get through discovery for the judge to actually see those videos. And when the judge sees those videos based on what's written here, it kind of sounds way worse than when you watch the video and you're like, Larry's literally like talking. He's like, but I don't know. Like, this is just me spitballing. Like, I don't, of course, he's not the, Larry doesn't talk like me. He would never use the word spitballing. There would be a much better use of vocabulary there. However,
Only me's here. Hi there, mate.
Only me's here, and so is my pretty.
Yes.
No, you didn't rewrite timelines. Only me. I was just, when I referring to what your first comment was, this rewriting the timeline seems very, very shady. You didn't rewrite timelines that I know of. I don't know. I was just referring to your comment as far as like being held accountable for speech like this.
Hello, Amago. It's not always about you, fella.
This comment right here. I'm not a lefty, but this type of speech damaging needs to be held accountable if it's not true, right? That's what I was referring to when my response was not you personally, just a lot of the times when I say you or y'all, it's like it's just a generalization. So it's the mindset.
Let's carry on.
Okay, we're gonna go back to his video because we're gonna read this paragraph and then go back. He was lying to people. He was scamming, stealing from people. Probably. I have no proof, but just if he does it now, he did it back then. People don't change like that. Although Matt's going to receive none of the sanctions Foreman lists here, Foreman claims basically we are waiting on trying to figure out what Deuce is going to do. And I'm convinced with the sanctions coming from the federal court. Sorry, I have a problem that I don't know if I pointed it out on Monday, but I have a problem with this. Tell me you don't know your client without telling me. Deuce is going to get sanctioned. If Randy got sanctioned, Bruce is definitely going to get sanctioned. The level of sanctions yet, whether it's monetary or otherwise, we don't know. However, I'm convinced with the sanctions coming from the federal court, Larry's not wrong. Larry is not wrong. And when I'm assuming that when y'all get sanctioned by a federal court, that your state bar associations look at that like, what did you do to get sanctioned by a federal court? So, yeah. And here, and only me, defamation isn't hurt feelings, it's actually damaging on truths. Here we can clearly see clearly the writer of this complaint entered so much information out of context. Yeah, I have a clip of a judge in Florida from the Zachary Young defamation trial literally saying that defamation, telling the jury defamation is not hurt feelings. A lot of the times, just because you don't like speech, it is not defamation. So, and hey, Musty Lady. So we are going to continue watching this. I just wanted to read that next paragraph so that we had some context. Not only context of what's in the document and what's in the video, but like what's in the document. And looking at the yes, context is very important. Very important. And
has to make the decision as to whether or not he wants to stay with him. But I can tell you, folks, that he did it once, he's going to do it again. In the article, if you read the article, he complains about how it's so difficult to make ends meet. He was a licensed Connecticut attorney back then. He was having a lot of trouble making ends meet and figuring things out and how he's going to pursue a livelihood and a career, etc., in such a dog-eat-dog competitive world, which is all horseshit. It's all, he just made it up. There's nothing there. He was lying to people. He was scamming people. He was stealing from people, probably. I have no proof, but it just, if he does it now, he did it back then. People don't change like that.
And there's that quote. He was using Bruce's own words, and they made it in the document seem like that was Larry's opinion.
And something else I noticed with that, I noticed it when I watched that video. If you have a look at the writing, right, look at the sentence, those who wronged me and my clients, that line, and they know who they are, that line, that was AI written.
Not necessarily. Because the keyboards here, if you do a double
Okay,
hyphen, it'll do that.
Okay.
And the fact of this date when this article was written back in 2013, I don't think AI wasn't really around back then. So just because you see that doesn't necessarily mean it's AI. Our keyboards, if you hit the hyphen twice, it'll do that.
But to play devil's advocate, he could have rewritten it, reposted it. But let's move on. Anything that Bruce does, I don't fucking trust anyway. So
that's true. Although Matskin received none of the sanctions Foreman lists here, Foreman claims basically are waiting, trying to figure out what Deuce is going to do. And I'm convinced with the sanctions coming from the federal court, you don't know what he's going to get because he hasn't shown up to get his sanctions. He would have been sanctioned if he would have shown up, but he does not have the cojones to do it. And we've seen it. So we've seen it. So we'll keep playing this.
So in 2013, actually, right as I was waiting for my bar results, unbeknownst to me, Deuce relocated to Armenia. And right as I became an attorney and started practicing, he was enjoying cultivating the earth and eating apples and walnuts and whatever else he was doing, enjoying the sunshine, touching grass, and maybe eating it. I don't know. I don't care what he was doing over in Armenia. I doubt he was practicing law because, practicing law in the United States. Can you imagine that phone call? So you trying to hire like somebody and you get hey, do you have WhatsApp?
Can you just pause it very quickly?
Yeah.
Just for the record, when everything started with Bruce Matskin and I started doing research on him, I came across a document from the British consulate in Armenia, and basically it actually stated there categorically that Bruce Matskin was not allowed to practice law in Armenia. Just saying. And I've actually got that screenshot as well. So if Larry wants it, I'll be more than happy to produce it.
So it says Foreman doubles down on these false claims. So let's see. Let's skip ahead.
on. So last we checked in on him, he didn't show up to April 3rd. The judge issued a show cause order. Deuce replied to that show cause order. And after he replied to that show cause order, the judge said, I am allowing you to withdraw, but I'm still keeping you on as counsel because I am staying the case for 30 days so they can find a new lawyer, Michelle and John. And at the same time, or unless they're going to represent themselves pro se. And at the same time, I'm still working on the motion for sanctions. What? I am still working on the motion for sanctions?
That proves right there that what Larry's saying is not, it might be a hypothetical, but it's an informed opinion. It's not just him pulling shit out of the sky with no insight into what is going on.
Exactly.
Which means that, once again, the lawyer who wrote this does not know the history, did not take any time. And I will preface this with, do I know the entire history before Bruce? No. However, I am not a lawyer and I am not representing anybody in any of these cases. So me only looking at the documents is different than a lawyer taking a case where he should know.
Yeah, I mean, Larry, in this, it sounds like Larry was given his professional opinion on what he saw and read. There's a big difference between giving your opinion instead of making assumptions, accusations, or statements of fact. He was given a opinion of what he read and saw in that document and from what was going on. There's a big freaking difference.
Robert says it shows that the determination for sanctions is still in the works. And when he says, well, Bruce was never sanctioned with a motion, let me see what the actual complaint says. So not sorry, I'm looking at the false, none of that happened, all of it's made up. No. Like, no. Yeah, so him not showing up for sanctions, did the judge just let him have a pass? No, or is something pending? There is still stuff pending. It is, from my understanding, with the judge above Belatho, and also because Federal 1 is on a stay pending the bankruptcy crap, you can't sanction an attorney in a case that's on a stay. That's just kind of unethical, and just I would assume outside the rules of the Northern District of Florida. Yeah, well, here's a couple of things. One, it's not everybody's only case. They have a lot of shit. Like, if you actually look at the docket for the Northern District of Florida, it's busy. It's busy. So remember, these aren't people's only cases, and now that it's stayed, it's literally put on the back burner. So it sucks and it seems shady, but in all actuality, from the judge's perspective, it's probably not as shady as it looks to us impatient people that want to see accountability. So it's kind of one of those, like, Bruce is breathing down his lawyer's neck and saying this is how you write it. I'm sure that's not true, because I have a sneaking suspicion that the person who wrote this does not like Larry. And that is the only reason that he took this case. I have this sneaking suspicion that this is a person that just does not like Larry. So he didn't do his due diligence because of the fact that when you work on emotion, your insight and think about your critical thinking skills. When you're emotional, your critical thinking skills go down the drain. So if you're a lawyer and you're taking this case, your normal course of action, my assumption would be that you look at the facts of the case, you would look at the history to see if you're going to take the case. However, when you're working on emotion and you just want vengeance against somebody or revenge for reasons unknown, your critical thinking skills and problem solving skills and common sense kind of go out the window. It's one of the reasons that I hate making decisions based on emotion, because emotions never work out. Never work out. Emotions can change minute to minute. Facts critical thinking skills and analysis takes a little bit longer to change. You don't change your opinion overnight based on a legal document. It takes thinking about it and processing the information. Whereas you can go from being in a really pissed off mood to a really happy mood to a really pissed off mood in the matter of minutes. Which is one of the reasons that I was taught when I was little, do not make decisions when you are emotional because shit never goes right. And only me, I have no idea. None of that was mentioned here, so I can't speak to any of that because honestly, I don't know. First 5 minutes of the video, I go into if your name isn't like, if you aren't talking about Georgia football this week or this past month, generally I don't watch you unless you are either Georgia football or Paw Patrol, Amazing Spider-Man and Friends, or Bluey. Other than that, I don't know. And that's another reason that I don't pay attention to all of the outside of court stuff because I can't physically process it all or remember it all. So I just, and yes, it's the real only me. As far as I'm aware, it's the real only me. It's the same only me that's been here every time. Not every time, but every time an only me has been here. So, Ricky Bobby, hello. So I have no idea what was it has been speculated that this is a former employee of him that was probably I don't know. That would be based on how this is written, that would be my assumption. It sounds like it's written like somebody doesn't like him. It sounds, especially because we read the cease and desist letter, and it wasn't written Mr. Foreman or attention Larry Foreman or, Larry Foreman Esquire. It was Larry, which means at a time, this person was on a first name basis and is trying to be all chummy to get what they want. It's like me going to Spawn, hey, Spawn, what's up? Being all chummy and calling him by his first name. And he's like, you haven't called me by my first name in like 3 years. What are you doing here? Like, so it's, but we will get back to this video. I am looking to see.
This dude is about to rip Deuce in half. Folks, I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying this. If a federal judge is telling you that I'm not done with you yet, and not only that, I need more time because of how serious and egregious your violation is, directly ignoring a court order, you are not skating by from this one, buddy. The whole macaroni and cheese scandal. You guys remember the macaroni and cheese scandal when he forgot to include a clause? He forgot one clause in his contract. The stupidest thing ever. The stupidest thing ever. It just said, it's supposed to say, I, as the client, understand that I'll be responsible for fines and court costs. That's all it's supposed to say. I understand as a client.
And Mary, the district judge, not the magistrate, may also be waiting for a certain lawyer to continue his shenanigans for more actions. After all, he was fired. He lost his ability to lawyer in Florida. There's also that, I don't know specifically about waiting for him to continue his shenanigans. However, there is and I've said it before and I'll say it again, because I haven't changed my opinion. By Deuce being a defendant on federal 2 with the same judge and the same district judge, because the district judge is the same as well. With it being the same set of judges and the same person, you're sanctioning in federal 1, but is a defendant in federal 2. The one thing Bruce is good at is making shit complicated. The one thing that I have seen that he is very, very skilled at is making shit so complicated. So, if he gets sanctioned in federal 1 and the sanctions may be a little harsher than what he was expecting, he could start to raise hell in federal 2 and say that this judge has things against him. Like, this judge has a vendetta against him because he sanctioned him in federal 1. Who knows what the dynamic is there and what is going through the district judges and the magistrate judges' minds, thinking about what happens and the results of the sanctions in Fed 1, how that affects Bruce as a defendant in federal 2. Will he file to get the judge removed because he was sanctioned by this judge? There's a whole lot of things behind the scenes and conversations that I'm sure are happening that we are not privy to. None of this is simple. And I think with a lot of us going, well, why hasn't he been sanctioned yet? Why hasn't he been sanctioned yet? It's not as simple as I've said before as well. It's not as simple as saying, like, monetary sanctions are like you got a speeding ticket. You pay your $500 fine and you're good to go. Not showing up for a court hearing and a show cause hearing at that, knowing that you're going to get sanctioned because the judge told you to bring your checkbooks. Remember, before that April 3rd hearing, the judge told them it's recommended you bring your checkbooks. Knowing he was going to get sanctioned, chose not to show up. The shit is complicated. And I think we're all making it to be too simple. In, like, a check is like a speeding ticket. You write your check, you're good to go. No harm, no foul. Here, you're good. Call it a day. What Bruce did is above and beyond, more than just writing a check, and is complicated. It's complicated. It's just complicated. I think that's why it's going to come from the district judge himself, not the magistrate. Yeah, and I think Janet has a point. I think the judge is waiting for Fed 2 to be over, then we'll sanction BBB. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fed 2 had to be completed before he was given sanctions, because him being a defendant in Fed 2 while being on the chopping block for sanctions in Fed 1 is with the same judge. If there was a different judge, I don't think this would be an issue, but because both cases are being handled by Boletho, I think that's the complicated factor. So, yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. And I said it on yesterday that I think Jeremy's lawsuit that he filed, the civil rights one, is actually the important one. Not that the others aren't important. The others are important for reputation and emotional damage and damage to reputation and stuff like that. But the civil rights one is actually, if they'll do it to Jeremy, they can do it to anybody. And if Dan Owen gets stopped from doing it, or Rex Owen, or whatever the fuck his name is, gets stopped from doing it to Jeremy, maybe that will save other people in the process, because Jeremy has the means and the ability and the financial situation to sue. A lot of people don't. So who will he be saving with that lawsuit? The defamation one, yeah, it's important to Jeremy and important to YouTubers. But as far as like a constitutional basis, it's not really has any impact. The civil rights one has a great impact on people whose rights might have been violated, however, do not have the means, because suing is not cheap. Don't have the means to sue. So, that's just my take. So this is all they have to say about this video.
But there's way more. There's way more in that video than they've actually. That's the whole point. They're taking stuff he said out of context, twisting it, turning it upside down, inside out, and then putting it in the pocket.
And this is all they have to say about that video. And do you notice we're only 6 minutes and 32 seconds into the video?
Yep.
This is a 16-minute video. So you not only you took 6 minutes of a video, you didn't even watch the whole damn video. You didn't even watch the whole video. Like it's just that's what gets me is like it's like you didn't even take the time to like pick something from like minute 14. You chose to take something from the first 5 minutes of the video because you were lazy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
probably what
appears
it
to
is.
be like to me.
Yeah. I doubt
Oh,
very
and I'm
much they watched the whole thing.
sorry, I had to go give these videos a like. I realized that I didn't like the video. And Josh is all right. Dude is home. I am going to let this video play. And then I'm going to try to find where in the document they talk about this video. Once again, I don't know. It's the same pinstripe suit, but different tie. I like this tie better. Not like he cares what I think, but just saying. I do
I
like this
like
tie
that
better.
phone. I
Huh?
really do like. I like that phone he's got on his desk.
Yeah, the old school
Yeah, that's old school French. That.
I can't remember what that's called, but people these days wouldn't be able to freaking figure out how to use that phone.
On Tuesday, April the 8th. This
All right.
is on the eve of Deuce's deadline for tomorrow's show cause explanation to the judge as to why he could not make it to court last week on April 3rd. So let's begin at the beginning. I have to catch you guys up on what happened in the days leading up to it. Originally, around March 14th, Judge Bolitho issued an order saying that on April 3rd, we are going to hold a hearing in Pensacola. Be there or be square, Deuce and Randy. And both of you bring your checkbooks. That's interesting, you might think. It's old news. It's been almost a month since that happened. Lots of things happened since, but that's the beginning of the tale.
Thank you, rotary phone. I knew it. It's one of those things of like I shut the stream down, I walk away from my desk, and it would come straight to my head. He doesn't really mention that I can find a lot in about this video, but I will continue to look.
And the beginning of the end for Deuce. So what happens next? He files a couple more motions relevant to the case. Randy responds. And then as the date of court gets closer and closer, Deuce gets more and more anxious. And the question arises, is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? Is he going to get in trouble? Is he not going to get in trouble? Is he going to skate by? Is he going to not skate by? A lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers. So in this order that I'm about to present to you, here is how the events unfolded. On or about Tuesday, April 1st, Deuce files a motion for an extension. He says, I'm not going to be able to be there, Your Honor. I have excuses here. I have more excuses there. I am afraid of you. You're going to arrest me.
And remember that. Remember this right here. Like, he was afraid that he would be arrested. Nowhere in anywhere did the judge ever say that he was going to be arrested. Like, and I caught him in a weird like they have this out of biggest court sanctions on shady lawyer exposed. Foreman begins by alleging that Matskin has been arrested by a federal judge. We're 2 minutes into this. Did he ever say that?
Nope. Someone else did, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, someone else did. But I remember someone saying that there was a bench warrant out for him. However, he goes into the show cause order, what it said, and like,
I have excuses here. I have more excuses there. I am afraid of you. You're going to arrest me.
right there. You are going to arrest me. He was quoting Bruce's own like thought process, because Bruce said in that motion to remove the judge that he was going to be arrested. And it was like, huh? That was not, and it says Foreman begins by alleging, so he didn't begin by alleging, Matskin was not arrested by a federal court judge. Foreman apparently does not care, as he states in the April video, you Matskin disgust me, sir. By this time, Foreman had taken to calling Bruce Matskin Deuce in his videos, parodying the nickname that others had contrived for YouTube content. Yes, when I changed the little diapers yesterday, I said that she had a Bruce Matskin. That's what I call it's what I call a dirty diaper on these parts, a Bruce Matskin. So, no, here, look, hey.
Afraid of Randy. I'm afraid of Larry because Larry announced that he's going to be there with his girlfriend. I'm afraid of Jeremy because Jeremy said even though he doesn't have to be there, he's going to be there. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be interviewed. I don't want to be answering questions. I am threatened by these people. I am terrified of these people. Yeah, I
Just
You know, have you noticed who's not up there?
you.
Yep.
Please take judicial notice of YouTube channels, That Umbrella Guy, Megan Foxwriter, Shizzy Wiznut, Federer Nation, Squid Pro Quo, just a few of those profiting from the content because you're not profiting because you're not monetized.
Nope.
One channel, DUI Guy, is a Kentucky lawyer, Larry Foreman, who has profited from coverage. I'm sorry, welcome to YouTube that has a monetized YouTube channel. Like I've said this with other people who have like accused me personally of grifting and stuff like that. It's like, I'm sorry, I have a monetized YouTube channel. People are like, well, you're grifting. No, I talk about what I'm interested in and I give my opinions on things that I'm interested in. And I think that matter to the world, specifically court cases, things. I seem to have a thing for like medical fraud, stuff like that. But I talk about things that interest me. And yes, I make a little ad revenue from it and some super chats from time to time. Some more than others. There's some streams where I don't get a super chat, and that's fine. I'm not sitting here grifting for super chats. I'm just stating a fact. But it's like, welcome to YouTube. Like, when people have monetized YouTube channels, they are not doing things for profit. They are making a living from their YouTube channel. Like it's
you can't make this up, can you?
You can't make this up.
No.
For the sake of accuracy, this video by Larry received over 58,000 views. As of when I opened it today, it's 57K. I don't know what, like, if that's updated, but when I opened it today at like 2:30, it said 57. But you know,
Well, you can buy himself a new tie now. I'm sorry, Larry.
Like I said, I'm happy if my video that's not what the Hills gets like 1,000 views. I am happy if I'm ecstatic over the roof, not with anxiety, but with ecstatic, you know. If my video, what the Hills video gets 3,000 views, I cannot imagine what 57,000 views actually looks like. So when I say that like I'm balling on a budget, it's because I don't get these views. I don't have 606K. I have 4,100. Like we balling on a budget here. So it's like, you know, and in addition to having all these views, he's also a lawyer. So like he's making some decent, you know, whereas I'm a disabled vet.
You'll get there, don't you worry.
I'm working on it. My channel, you know, my channel's relatively new, so I really can't complain. Things will get there. Different.
You got some decent people. You got a lot of decent people in your community, so trust me, it's
true. And things will get better when I get better at editing and recording. When the little goes to preschool and I have a couple of hours in the day to breathe.
Check your private chat, by the way.
So, which private chat?
Here on here, just check it.
I did.
You a little... Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
Good.
He could buy himself 10 new ties at the Goodwill. True.
Oh, yeah.
True. It's just sure. I never like to end up in court documents, and I've done it a couple of times. Well, it's never my intention to
yeah, but I'll tell you one thing though, if hypothetically speaking, just for argument's sake, playing devil's advocate, you got called in, right? At the end of the day, all you probably are going to be one of the best witnesses in this because you are unbiased, because you've covered the documents and not the actual how can I say
behind the scenes clusterfuck.
Yes. right? So therefore, and the fact that you've been attacked by Deuce Boy and everything else, and you've got, you know, that you were CC'd into an email and stuff like that.
Sweet Jesus, that nightmare.
Yeah. The thing is, Bruce has basically opened a can of worms that I'm telling you now. You've got my opinion on what's going to happen with this. So let's see if I'm right or
Yeah,
not.
I don't think Larry will ever settle this, and for the reasons that I've said above. So
Yeah.
Marco, I love it. I love comments like this. They make me laugh. I know she has decent people here because I'm here. So yeah. It's just on this stream, to anybody who just popped in, we are just going through Larry's videos, comparing them to how it was written in the initial complaint against him, and seeing if it actually has a point or it's just contrived bullshit. And all I can see right now is contrived bullshit. And Jeffrey, message me that because I'm working on a video of stuff like that. So I've never seen Larry remove videos except one in the beginning of the thumbnail suit. He generally doesn't talk about things that he's actively involved in. So like, you know, he was talking about this because he wasn't a party. So and I know that people that hate Larry are gonna be like, well, he's using other people as their mouthpiece. I chose to talk about this. He did not ask me to talk about this. Like, this is my own idea and my own interest because making fun of BBB is the highlight of my week. So it's one of those things of like, Larry is not using anybody as a mouthpiece. Like, yes, do I like Larry as a person? Do I like Larry as a lawyer from what I've seen? Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm his mouthpiece. Sorry, it's not how shit works around here.
Do you know what? I can't wait until we're sitting on this platform or on mine, and we're talking about something completely different.
Well, that's usually why on Wednesdays we do aviation, but that's a frustration in itself. So
yeah, I'm glad we changed it because I got a headache last time.
Mary, this the name is redacted. We're not giving this lawyer any. This lawyer took this case for two reasons. I'm convinced. One, because he doesn't like Larry because he is a Kentucky lawyer. He does not like Larry. And two, because he does not like Larry and is probably jealous that Larry has a successful YouTube channel, probably wants a little bit of name recognition and attention. And be damned if I'm going to give him that fucking name recognition. So his name will never be used on this channel. It will be redacted as much as I can do it. So what kind of lawyer is broke after 27 years of practice? I would say a public defender, but you know, I like Larry and watched him before Megan and Tug. Yeah, me too.
But don't forget,
Megan. I started watching Larry and Tug around the same time because that was the Depp v. Heard stuff. But
and also if Deuce Boy was such dire straits financially, why is he driving around in a C-class Mercedes?
A used one.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to sell my car and get a different one because I can't stand the fact that he's got the same one as me. Well, mine's better than his.
They don't mention anything in the complaint about the show cause order. So, yeah. And hey, AT1, how are you? Hey, AT2, no radar mile and radar range mile today. Nope. Oh my goodness. Oh, AT1, he's not here right now, but we have an AD in the mix. So just so you know. We have a mech in the mix. So I'm trying to figure out exactly where these quotes are coming from because there's my favorite picture of Judge Belatho, Judge McDreamy.
I call him the Triffid. He was a potted plant.
He was a law professor before he became a judge.
Yeah. Do you know the fact that when he said I am a potted plant, the first thing that came to mind was the Triffids? And if anyone knows that about that series, it's an old series about plants that come to life in the start.
When this case first started, the federal cases, I did my research on him. He was a law professor, and he actually did an interview, and we played it. So, yeah. Oh, hey, Steven. We got a CB too. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get back into this. See if we can find these. I'm trying to see if we can find these quotes because they're like. They said Foreman doesn't apparently care, as he states in the April video, you Matt can disgust me. All he says, the only thing about this one that he mentions is the transcript video is more incendiary lies than the March video. They arrested by a federal judge. Like, you Matskin disgust me, sir. By this time, Foreman had taken to calling Bruce Matskin Deuce. Cares. Like, deuce, according to Urban Dictionary, means a result of a complete bowel movement. Yeah, whatever. Like, oh, hi, B. I like the way you're using the video and the court filing. I like to compare and contrast because so much shit is taken out of context in general. Not just this case, but like life. We tend to, you've seen it in the last 2 weeks with Charlie Kirk, how things are taken out of context. So one of my favorite things to do is look at the writing, and it's easier to do with this. That's a 10-page document versus like a, 80-page document. But it's like trying to find these inconsistencies and things that don't add up. And earlier in the stream, we found that things were in reverse order as what they were stated in the complaint. Which there, for me, would have been like, that would have been like, I'm not settling because I am giving the judge the chance to see how you misled him. But that's just me. So we,
apparently in his early 40s. Good on him to be a magistrate.
He's a gorgeous looking judge.
Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely astonishing that Deuce not only ignores that order, we're getting there, but on April 3rd, 2025, just last week, he has the audacity, 28 minutes before the hearing is scheduled, 1 p.m. Central. This is 12:32 Central. He files a motion to withdraw. I'm sorry, what? Does he really think it's going to be that easy? Like,
and
that's a lie. That's a lie. Oh.
And yes, we've established that is a lie from what Lynette and John have said out of their own mouths. However, it's like none of this is in the in their document, where defamation and false light and outrage are like have to be the funniest things.
And this is why I know he's going to fail.
You know what? I don't have to listen to no judicial opinions and no judicial orders. All I have to do is leave the case. Just get out. Let's get out. Not only that, I'm pretty certain he lied in that motion because he wrote that he has been terminated by Lynette.
Okay. You notice? Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty certain. Pretty certain means I don't have proof. I am pretty certain. It's my opinion. I am not saying for sure. And this is where, as a lawyer, y'all should know, I'm not a lawyer, but words matter. Words matter.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we like it or not, words matter. What words you use. Because he said pretty certain he lied. Larry is not saying, I know he lied. There is a difference between technically, he is not saying for sure that Bruce lied, which is another.
I mean, he was speculating. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think he lied.
Well,
it doesn't
here
mean...
in paragraph 23 says Matskin did not lie in federal court pleadings, nor has he faced any reprimand for doing so. He hasn't faced any reprimand because his ass hasn't shown up.
Exactly.
And also, the case that he is supposed to be reprimanded for is on stay. Can't be reprimanded while a case is on stay. Also, he is a defendant in federal 2, which makes sanctions in federal 1 complicated, which we went into about 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple things that this lawyer is wordsmithing. Technically, he hasn't faced punishment. Well, technically, this document is correct. However, he hasn't faced punishment. It's like saying when sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night, oh, I haven't been grounded for sneaking out. That's because your parents haven't caught your ass yet.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get home and your parents know that you snuck out, you're going to get in trouble. Like it's like the teenager. Well, I haven't been punished yet. That's because you're not home to face the consequences of your actions. Like once you go home and you face the consequences of your actions, you will be punished.
It's just like an earthquake. An earthquake causes tidal waves. It's only a matter of time before that big ass wave comes knocking on your door.
And Liz, I'm pretty sure my parents regret teaching me what the word technically means, because when I was a teenager, I would wordsmith the hell out of the word technically. And that's why in other cases you've seen me say, well, technically the person who filed the suit is right for now. Like Lips. Technically she never was disbarred because she retired. Could disbarment have been on the list of punishments? Could have been. However, because she retired, we will never know. That's what I call the Lips loophole. The legally Lips loophole is what that argument will forever be known. Like here, Matskin hasn't been punished yet. Yes, because he hasn't shown up to court. However, if he were to show up for court, he would be punished. It's the technically he hasn't been punished yet. It's the lips argument.
Yeah. It's yet.
John Cook is in the chat. I can't wait for Larry Foreman to meet HG's lawyer for interfering with her adoption. He's already been trying to backpedal, but that won't help his ass. I hope a lot of mothers are on that jury. What exactly did he do? This is not, John, whenever I ask you questions, it's not to be accusatory to you. It's because I literally don't know. I literally don't know. Because with the exception of the documents, I don't pay attention.
Okay, and as you are here, John Cook, I would like to know, and obviously now you've got a platform, I would like to hear from your own mouth, right? Did you discharge Bruce Matskin before or after this withdrawal of counsel and request? Because let's be very frank here, right?
Hey, Spawn, can I interrupt you for just 1 second?
Yeah.
In this chat, the first 5 minutes, I told y'all, we have a respectful chat. Just because we don't like somebody in chat does not mean that we start piling on them. I appreciate the fact that you guys have done it with only me. Please do it to John Cook or anybody else who decides to come in here that you guys personally may not like. My view and my thought process on it is if I'm rude to them, they're not going to want to talk to me. And like Charlie Kirk, if people don't talk to me, we don't learn things about each other and why people do what they do or don't do what they don't do. So I get it. But I know you get it. But I'm just FYI to the chat. I don't care if I don't personally get along with somebody that's in the chat or we're not fans of theirs or whatever. Please be respectful because one, that reflects on my channel, and I would like my channel to grow for positive reasons and not for being a shit talker. Although I do find myself to be pretty good at that when I want to, but that's beside the point. However, if we are rude to the people who we don't agree with or we're not on the same side, they're never going to talk to us or explain things. And if I ask John Cook a question, if he thinks that I'm just going to be a bitch to him, he's not going to want to answer or even give me any sort of information. But if I'm respectful to him, maybe I might get some reciprocal respect. Not always the case with people, and that's fine. But treat people like you want to be treated, whether you like them or not.
Right. So, John, can you answer that question?
And
Because
happy birthday to her, Robert.
yeah, so can you answer that question? Because obviously you and Lynette were very adamant that he approached you to be removed as counsel. So either you two are lying, which I wouldn't put past you, or he is lying. But the fact that he put it into a legal document and obviously posted on the case before you said so, basically he tried to remove himself from this because he knew that he wasn't going to get anything out of it. So either you're lying or he's lying, but either way, whoever's lying is going to get a slap for this because there's proof to contradict that document. Just saying.
And stats, I just wanted to be sure it was them. Some were cloned before. It's he's been in here before. It appears to be the same person. So, you know. But yes, and if you need me to, if you want to see me get an attitude with anybody, first 5 minutes of the stream. There's my PSA. I might actually cut that and make it a separate video of like expectations of chat. Like, so it's one of those situations where I'll enter no questions from you. As I told you before, I tried to ask questions on your page and you blocked me.
No, I didn't want you
Well,
in there because you were called.
And yeah, the John and Stephen said a really good. Somebody lied. We just want to know if it was you or Bruce. And to be perfectly honest, it really doesn't matter either way in the grand scheme of things. However, like I've said it before, playing devil's advocate, I don't have to like the facts in someone's case to still give credit where credit's due. This situation was a lot less dramatic and a lot less problematic before Bruce got involved. So,
John, who did you sell that pew to? There you go. Those are the questions you didn't like answering. All this is basically this lawsuit involves Bruce Matskin. Bruce Matskin put the untruths in that document. It says there, the undersigned has been discharged as counsel by Lynette Michelle Preston and John Cook. So my question to you again, very simple question with a very simple answer. Did you fire him or remove him as counsel, or did he come to you and ask you to be removed? Because this what happened after he put this document in. So therefore, either you're lying or he is. And if he is lying, then he's caused what's that? Perjury? Is it perjury? Is it? What's it like if you
perjury, but
so it's a simple question. I mean, because the thing is, at the end of the day, when this goes to court, Larry's going to sit there. He's going to have all the evidence, all these videos, right? And he's going to blow this case out of the water. And the fact of the matter is, you are implicated because at the end of the day, if Bruce came to you and says, "I want to be released," prior to him putting this on a docket, then okay. But this happened after. That's where the problem is, and the problem is in your
seems
court.
to be a timeline issue that I'm like,
yeah. All right, so it is very simple, John.
And Stephen does bring up a really good point too. Technically, Bruce was Lynette's lawyer. Yeah. Lynette's lawyer. They separated co-representation. There's a.
I mean, John Cook's never had a lawyer anyway, and another thing. Where does who received the money to get a lawyer? Why hasn't Lynette got a lawyer, John? Why doesn't she have representation, John?
And John, you've probably been told this a lot, but y'all need a lawyer.
Yeah,
like, everybody needs a lawyer, not just John. But
and I also think you should sue Bruce Matskin because I think he took advantage of you. Oops, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Well, Terry said it too. Terry. Terry
Oh,
beat you to it, actually.
Terry and I thought the same thing at the same time. Oh, bless
Yeah.
your cotton.
So we're gonna get back to this.
Yep.
So,
Let's go. Let's do it.
but this is where the other part of the document comes in. Maskin did not lie in federal court, nor has he faced any reprimand for doing so. He hasn't faced any reprimand because he hasn't been there. It's just like sneaking out of the house. Your parent, you can say to your friends, well, I haven't gotten in trouble for this, or, I haven't been grounded for it. It's because your parents haven't caught you yet. It's like robbing a bank. You didn't do anything wrong. No, you just haven't been caught by the police yet. You did something wrong. You just haven't been given your comeuppance yet.
Yeah. And to screenshots comment, I've been concerned about that since day one.
Yeah, and there's enough out there for anyone to have concern for HG. And that's what got me into this. Is I mentioned on somebody else's channel just being concerned as a mother about HG. Nothing more. I didn't mention anything about anybody whatever. I just said I'm concerned because whatever it is, like if something happened around here, I would hope people would be concerned for my daughter, whether it directly affected her or not. Like if we're actively suing somebody for something, we're not, but hypothetically, it still affects her. The fact that we have to go and meet with lawyers and this and that, despite her not actually ever being involved. So like, as a mother, I could just, this is taking, if it takes a toll on the parents, it takes a toll on the child, whether you want to admit it or not. And that's all I said. And that gave Bruce license to talk about my daughter. So,
Yeah,
but
that still pisses me off that you did that.
Well, he talked about choking on that. And I'm sorry, if Bruce can choke on an Apple Pencil, his gag reflex is that of like a porn star.
Bruce does Dallas. There you go. You pro.
Oh my goodness. And somebody, I think it was David, I would never give John Cook tips. Devil's advocate. Like, I'm just because I might not agree with him on some things, I'm not going to be a dick. I'm not going to go out of my, when he hasn't personally done anything to me. I'm not one of those people, like, if he was rude, say he was rude to, like, my best friend. Yeah, I might not like him, but I'm not going to go out of my way to be an ass because that's just not my personality. I don't do the whole, because I don't like you or my friend doesn't like you, I don't either. I might not, like, be as close to you or trust you or things like that, but I don't do the whole you can't talk to them because I don't talk to them thing. That's just not my personality, so I try to extend that part of my personality to the YouTube world, because you're going to make life a lot harder if you act like that on YouTube. And it's just not my personality.
Back to the video.
All right. I keep freezing Larry in some good poses though.
Yeah, I'm saying shit. I
this one though. This one right here.
County courthouse in 2 weeks' time for the hearing against Stark. Now Stark is on the hook. I'm sorry, I said 2 weeks. That's next week. Oh my gosh. I'm flying on Monday. I forgot. My schedule is so busy right now. It's hard to keep up with everything, but that's okay. That's the way I like it. Busy keeps me happy. So next week, Stark needs to answer for his crimes. Randy just filed a motion today, solidifying it's a memorandum of law, basically explaining here's why Stark needs to pay. Here's why Stark needs to open up his checkbook and pay. And
rest in peace, Stark. But like that's all they mention about this video. Except for Foreman claims you're throwing another lawyer under the bus for your misdeeds, your mistakes, and your shenanigans. And that's an opinion. That's not defamation. Like, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. I'm sorry. Like, it's clearly an opinion. So just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's defamation.
Sorry. Can I say something before you carry on? Freckled Ginger, I love your Irish ass. How can you say that I don't like you? Of course I like you.
Jeff and Freckled, you all have something in common right now.
Wait, what?
Jeff and Freckled have something in common.
What, they got ginger hair?
No, they got broken ribs.
Oh, well, they need to stop fighting each other then.
Pretty sure that's not how that happened, but okay.
Listen, when two people turn up with the same injuries, devil's advocate.
So it's like my chat is falling apart. Literally. He says the so-called scam Foreman refers to as his paranoid delusion. That's more of defamation than his video. Like, yeah. Yes, right here, Liz Barnes. Thank you. Stop criticizing only me, please. He did what he could to help a child based on the misinformation that he received from 2L and friends. Less, and I've said it from the very beginning. Stop telling him about things that I'm pretty sure he's already heard 10,000 times by now, and it's like it's beating a dead horse at this point. Like, and it's just at this point, it's like if someone kept mentioning that to me, and I don't blame him for getting an attitude about that, because I would too. So I appreciate that he's not. However, I wouldn't be 100% like upset if he did, because I would get. It's been months. Thousands of people have said it. Like, stop. Yeah, he knows. He knows. Paranoid delusion that Matskin was behind his client's lawsuit against Foreman, and that Matskin has scammed a different attorney into representing this client on the case to cover his tracks. And I think that's what he's referring to here.
Hey, Randy, I could care less about the money, honestly. At the end of the day, he sued me through Deuce. So Stark is the named attorney. Deuce is not admitted pro ac vice, which is a fancy word for not licensed to practice in this state, but licensed on this one individual case. So that's another thing that he has to deal with. But let's get back to our main story. So Deuce files a motion to withdraw 28 minutes before the hearing. The federal rules of civil procedure require that an attorney must ask for leave of court in order to withdraw from a case, unless they already have counsel at the ready, in which case new counsel will simply enter a substitution of counsel order and things continue unabated with no issues. No one is going to yell at you unless you already have been ordered to appear and you're going to chicken out of it. That's fine. There's going to be a separate order on that, which we'll get to in just a moment. But at least you get to skate out of the case unabated. But you can't simply abandon clients upon whom you have put your faith and their trust in you, that you're going to represent their interests. And this is where I think Deuce lied. I don't think John and Lynette, at the time of the filing of his motion to withdraw, they probably know now, it's almost a full week later, but at the time of the filing of the motion, he wrote that my clients fired me. I don't think they...
John, that's what we're talking about right there. Only Me did a great thing by stepping up to the plate for HD, and when we were very grateful for what he's done for us. That comment aside, this is what we're asking about, and where I think that Bruce was shady, because I don't think, in my opinion, that you guys knew about this before it was done. Which, if that is true, is a very shady AF thing to do. And whether I like you and Lynette is beside the point. I'm still calling a spade, and that's a really shitty thing to do. That's where I'm curious. Hey, Storm Killer. That's the shady part. Hey, Alley Cat. Have a great night. So that's where my yeah.
Interesting.
That's where I'm like,
they did. I don't think they knew that they fired
you know.
That's the beautiful part. So he may be on the hook in the future for lying to a tribunal. We have a duty of candor before the court. And if you violate that, well, then you have nothing remaining. If we can't even trust anything that you say in court and you get that reputation, it's all over for you anyway. Now, there have been some rumors since then that despite the fact that Deuce is out of the case, he is going to continue working as a shadow lawyer, as a ninja lawyer on whatever new counsel he finds to take this godforsaken case. Another Stark, maybe, because Stark has already outlived his usefulness. Stark has caught up to the scam that Deuce.
Rest in peace, Scott Stark. Like, CHF is a horrible freaking way to go, too.
Deuce perpetrates. So Stark is useless for Deuce's purposes. He's going to have to find someone new, someone just as gullible, just as bland. Sorry, Stark. It's nothing against you, buddy. Trust me. I think we got to know you a little bit. I have nothing against you. It's all against him. And he's going to have to find someone just like Stark to take on the case. Someone that's been around for 40 years, hasn't accomplished much, and wants to make a little money. He's going to sell them. He's going to turn that knob. He's going to go, oh, I'm going to make you so much money. You have no.
See, and like this is
Satire.
well, and this if I were to be like I said, this is just my personal opinion, but if I were to write that motion, I would have used shit like this and not what they used.
Mm.
Like if I were to write that motion or that filing against Larry, this is the shit that I would have used, not what they quoted, because what they quoted was like obvious opinion. Whereas this one's like calling Stark a shady or a lawyer who's been around a while who's never accomplished anything. Like this one.
And just for the record, this video was way before the unfortunate passing of Scott Stark.
Yes, this video is back in April. CHF paired with diabetes is a hell of a comorbidity combo. Extremely hard on the body. Yeah, I worked on a floor that was specifically post catheterization, which had a lot of CHF patients. Lots of CHF patients. So, yeah, I don't think, and this is my opinion based on my medical background of when you get involved in something like this that is so stressful, it does take a toll on your physical health because stress does a number to the body. So when you already have a shit ton of comorbidities and now you add extreme stress on top of it, not like being a lawyer is not stressful just as it is on a day-to-day basis, but you add this kind of public stress, just a little I don't think that Stark would, and this is a big thing to say, that I don't think Stark would be where he is today if this had not happened. I still think he would have CHF and diabetes, obviously, but I don't think that he would unfortunately be where he is. So, but this is the stuff that they're using. And like, I don't see anything in that video that is cherry.
In fact, that video contradicts everything they put in that document, actually.
Yeah. And then the last one is the disbarment. This one. I'm going to move it over so I can see y'all. So this one. So I'm going to go to let's go to 1.55. And then this will be our last one. So this was the first one they mentioned, and it's only a couple of paragraphs. So we'll see.
God, where does the stupidity end? And now you're looking at disbarment in Florida on this case. Is he taking a page out of the Blake Lively playbook? Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. I am praying that you're going to be on your best behavior and you're going to change your.
Okay.
Now he's in trouble with the federales in Pensacola. So let's dive into it, shall we? Earlier this month, attorney Randy Shockett, on behalf of Jeremy Hales, the plaintiff, in the lawsuit of Jeremy Hales versus Lynette and John in the Northern District of Florida in the Gainesville division, filed a motion for sanctions, including judicial default. Randy has cited multiple heinous ways in which has been calling him names, insulting both him and his client Jeremy in official email communications between lawyers, an arena that has to remain professional. This is all we have, folks. This is all we have as lawyers, and I'm speaking as one. This is all we have is professionalism, the rules of ethics and decorum. If you are
decorum, courtroom decorum, which also extends to depositions. But here's what he says about this video. He says, Foreman uploaded Exhibit 1, a video Foreman titled Florida Attorney Faces Disbarment for Shocking Actions. Although the title and content of the video referred to Matskin and the video thumbnail showed his picture, Matskin is not a Florida attorney. He is licensed in Massachusetts and Connecticut and has appeared pro hoc vice in Florida federal court. Like it's just it's just one of them situations where it's like, huh?
I
Like-
think Larry did it really perfect at the beginning of this video. How stupid can you be?
It's just when you think it can't get any weirder. Here we are.
I'm literally sitting here trying to think of something constructive to say about this whole thing, because the more we talk about it, the more we see these videos, the more I know that Matskin's got more chance of catching an STD off a freaking bus boy than freaking winning this case. You really, I mean, you need to stop smelling the incense oils, Bruce. Seriously. You know I'm
violate
right.
the rules of ethics and decorum. What are you left with? It's just going to be complete chaos. Now, I can understand the occasional maybe jab or backhanded compliment or something like that, but went so far as to call Rendy a scumbag, and we have evidence of it. He wrote it in his own emails, and he called.
Guess what? None of this is in the filing that was filed against Larry. Shocker, right? I know. Nothing that would implicate that things that Larry's talking about have consequences, because Bruce has said a bunch of stuff. Like, oh my God. Just when you think it can't get any weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here we are. He doesn't actually quote. Well, Foreman began the state. We don't want to give Matskin any recognition because credibility deserves none of those things. Yeah. It's just.
I mean, I wonder if it's that leather hat that Bruce wears has squeezed his brain, causing some sort of disconnection from normality, and who knows. Ta-ta for now, Johnny. Ta-ta.
And here's a big thing. Although Foreman does not say Matskin's name, he showed his audience documents from the litigation discussed in paragraph 7, which was the trespass or the thumbnail case.
I need to drink some Dr. Pepper. This is doing my head in.
Yeah, it's just
God.
It's one of those things of like, well, he doesn't specifically reference, so he could be talking about anybody. If the shoe fits, maybe it's you.
I wonder if we
just because someone mentions that a lawyer should be disbarred, or a lawyer is not professional, does not mean that he is referring to you. However, if you look at someone's video and you say this person is a scumbag, this person plays victim all the time, this person just makes content only to make money, and you think that someone is talking about you, you might want to do some self-reflection. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Like if
I think
say, well, this person's an asshole, this person is, thinks he's telling the truth all the time, but really isn't, and stuff like that, and you're like, well, why are you talking about me? Well, I'm not, but if you seem to think that you fit into those categories, you might want to look in the mirror, kind of a situation.
I think me personally, I've decided as of today, Bruce Matskin shall be known as Cinderella.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one where I'm like, none of this makes sense.
It doesn't.
This video is like what they mentioned first, but he never actually mentioned Deuce.
Jeremy Hales, his imbecile client. That is, if that is not the hallmark of someone who is losing their case, I don't know what is. It's embarrassing. Is an absolute disgrace to the profession of law. And my humble opinion, he should not have any business whatsoever. I'm not going to go so far as to strip the man of a bar license, but maybe he should. But I will say this, he should definitely.
They put that in that was right there. Okay, so before he was talking about what Bruce has done, Okay, so maybe he is talking about Bruce. However, saying that maybe he should be disbarred, and also saying, in my humble opinion, he should not have business whatsoever. I'm not going to go as far as to say strip the man of a bar license, but maybe he should be disbarred. But I will say this, he definitely should not have any clients because he does not deserve them. One, that's an opinion, not defamation. And two, why the literally is an opinion that you're putting in a defamation case trying to make it appear as defamation. And you're just not even yeah. Tata, I don't have a dog in this fight with Larry, but we'll see and have a dog in the fight against Larry that will bring joy to my heart. And people try to be kind to one another. Yeah, John, if you like I said, not a requirement, but if you want to talk or to talk to someone or email someone who is the facts lean me towards one side. However, I'm open to hearing anybody's side of any story. You know how to get a hold of me. And yes, kind of there's a couple things that are free in life. The ability to be kind, the ability to stay in your lane, and the ability to mind your business. And generally, I like to think that I, with the exception of my YouTube channel, do most of those.
And I find it quite interesting, and I'm going to say this as an observation. John Cook and Only Me in the same chat, and you two are ignoring each other. I find that very, very strange. Considering that, John, you and Lynette apparently are supposed to receive all these monies that were given to you by Only Me. However, we've got the two individuals in this chat right now, and you are blatantly not even communicating with each other. I'm surprised that Only Me is not over John Cook like flies on shit, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's another
Sorry,
one of those things where I think that's like beating a dead horse. Like,
yeah,
been there, done that. You can only say it so many times before it like doesn't hold water anymore. So and if they don't want to talk to each other in this chat, that's fine. I appreciate
no, that's fine.
being
That's fine. I
respectful in this
just
chat.
find it strange. I just find it weird. That's all.
So it's just in this he talks about he should be, that's an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's an opinion.
An observation as well, may I add.
Yeah.
Over the past few months, over a year actually, if I remember correctly, the original contact that he made with me was as early as February 2024 when he tried to get on my show. Please, Larry, I want to talk about this stuff. And initially I said, sure, I scheduled a time. I made the
Yeah, and it's amazing how when you want something, you're all of a sudden really nice to people, and it's like, tell me. And that's one of the reasons that like I think Bruce is kind of a shitbag person. Is because you don't go from liking someone and being like, oh, you're my bestie, or let's talk, let's work together, let's do this and let's do this. And then I hate this person, they're evil, they're threatening me, they're doing this, they're a awful person overnight, unless you were never that genuine person to begin with.
Yeah, because I think around that time, if I can remember correctly, Bruce was on with a couple of other people, one of them now showing quite a lot of evidence to contradict of what the what the hell's ecosystem have been saying. So that was, excuse me, that was around the same time.
Yeah, it just seems to be one of those, like, Bruce seems to be that kind of person where it's like, oh, I'll be nice to you as long as I'm getting something from you. And then when you're no longer useful to me or you don't want to help me out, then all of a sudden you're like the scum of the earth and the awful person, and you're threatening, and you're this and you're that, and you're a grifter. And it's like, spare me with the bullshit. Like, you were never if you can change the way you feel about somebody overnight based on whether they don't want to talk to you or not, that means you were never genuine to begin with. And that is Bruce in a nutshell. So, like, I feel this right here, I feel deep down in my soul.
Yeah. It's like pulling teeth, really. It's Hey guys, let's stay on topic. I know that you know, but let's just calm it down a little bit, please.
Yeah, it is more common to see. Well, I don't know about other chats because I'm not really in other chats, but and only me's been here a couple of times where John has not, but that's neither
Yeah.
here nor there.
But one question I do want to ask is, in American law, in American courts, considering that they have now used these videos as their argument, does that mean that Larry can use these videos as evidence as well? I presume he could, can't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
So so
they opened
Rich,
the door.
yeah. So basically, with these 3 videos, I think, excuse me, I think that too little, too late. They whoever wrote that document should have researched, should have crossed the T's. Wait, did Spawn try to tell a redheaded woman to stay calm? I don't know what this. I don't know what you're on about. I wasn't there. You didn't see anything. You can't prove nothing. Taxi.
Freckle, the little was throwing a temper tantrum the other day because she's 3 and that's what she does. But Mr. Squid told her to calm down, and I looked at him, and I love him dearly, but I looked at him and I was like, when has telling a woman, any woman of any age, to calm down ever worked?
I like living dangerously.
Never.
I like living dangerously, and with Freckles, like I like to press buttons sometimes. She presses mine, so I'm pressing back there.
Speaking of another person who presses your buttons, this case isn't going to make it through anti-SLAPP hearings. Yeah, and this is another thing where it's like, this is another reason where I don't think, and like I said, I don't talk to Larry about this. He was nice enough to send me some information, what videos they were. But as of like talking about him, about how he feels about this, I have not done that. That is not my place. We are not that close. I have nothing against Larry. It's just one of those, another thing of like, I don't know people and I don't talk to people. And like, it's not my place to all of a sudden insert myself somewhere where, you know what I mean? Like, if Larry and I were friends, I would ask questions, but we're not friends and that's not my place. That would be annoying. And I don't like when people annoy me like that. So I'm not going to do it to somebody else.
But he'll be a bloody good friend to have. Freaking hell, can you imagine you need a lawyer? Hey, Larry, your dude. Yeah, what's happening? Yeah, I need you. I need a lawyer.
There's a lot of people that would be really good friends to have, but that doesn't mean I'm going to force a friendship where it is not natural.
Yeah. But I just looked at the funny side of it, the comical side. But
true,
yeah, go on.
but like our friendship developed over time and it was a natural development. I'm not going to force myself in.
Yeah, the beginning was rocky, I must admit. We did clash. We do argue. We do clash.
We argue all the time, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, we start off all right, then we clash, then we have a fantastic conversation, and then we leave both smiling, laughing, and having And the thing is that is not just a basis of trust, but it's also respect for each other, because at the end of the day, I value your opinion, and you value mine, and I value your constructive criticism, and vice versa. I mean, if we were in a situation where something like this happened, I would go out of my way to ensure that you had a lawyer like him, because I'm not saying he is the best of the best, but I'm saying that from what I've seen of him, he is a extremely good lawyer, and he's a very professional at it. Yes, he may have a YouTube channel, and yes, he may be very outspoken and opinionated, but the thing is, that is exactly that, opinionated. It's not, if he wanted to make statements, the guy is a bloody lawyer. He knows the law. If he wanted to make statements, he would do it. But everything that he's said in these 3 videos has been observational opinion and constructive criticism. And free speech also
based on his knowledge and history and experience.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's not off the cuff. And yes, there are some calculated insults, but guess what? When you're dealing with someone who's smarter than you, like you will get calculated insults or off the
Yeah,
cuff.
I just think
comments.
that I think this everything that's happened with this case with Jeremy Ellsworth, I think this is going to set a precedent for the system to actually, like, I mean, hopefully someone who has like Larry and Randy or someone with a little bit of clout actually say, look, this is what's happened. This is what happened. All this. You know, are we going to allow this to happen again? Are we going to allow lawyers, pro-act VCs, are we going to allow people like that to cause this type of issue? And the same thing with the judge giving, you know, sidebars and shit like that. Is this going to happen? Because if it does, we're never going to be able to have a decent law system. But this case with Larry, I'm telling you right now, Larry's going to walk away as the winner. And this time, Bruce will have nothing.
Yeah. And there's a couple more things in this video. However, I think that we're at over 2.5 hours. I think that we've kind of think that we've proved our point. However, Liz Bird says, I'm looking forward to the response. I worry that a judge had to read this and keep a straight face. My comment on that is this lawsuit was filed in the county that Larry practices in. So there could be a real good chance that this judge knows him.
Yep.
So.
And if a judge knows him, the judge is going to look at this. He's going to look at the evidence and he's going to go, oh, I can't wait to have this in my chambers.
So, and it's just I don't know, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, I just noticed something,
yeah. And thank you. Happy birthday tomorrow, Squid Virgo, big 40. Yes, I am big 40. I am 40 years old tomorrow. So, yes, I appreciate everybody with the birthday wishes. Tomorrow is my 40th birthday because, you know, I'm getting old.
Am I gonna see you tomorrow?
Maybe not. I'm doing a members only birthday stream. I might send a couple invites to people if they want to pop on, but generally it's like an ask me anything kind of chill stream. Maybe read some Reddit drama and stuff like that. So
okay. Well, can I just have 1 minute, please?
If you sing happy birthday, I'm kicking you off my stream.
Fuck it, I'm still gonna go for it. Happy birthday.
I told you.
Ow, do you know that fucking hurt? I missed the staircase and ended up in the freaking corner. Thank you. Ow. To you, happy birthday. Oh, fuck it. You've ruined it now.
Dan said don't throw anything at me, but if you played the whole video, it would take 3 days. I also don't want to play the whole video because it's not my video. Yes, it was sent to me, but at the same time, it's not my video. If you would like to watch the full video through and through without interruption, I will put it in the link or in the description of the video and go give Larry the views because it is his video. He made it. I just needed it for purposes of fact checking, little snippets at a time.
Have you seen Freckle Ginger's comment?
Yes, as long as yeeted, I'll rage quit. We got a rage quitter.
Oh, shit. I get fucking yeeted into the corner and she rage quits. That be fucking
Freckled always Freckled is my resident rage quitter. She makes fun of the other people or the people who actually do rage quit. So nobody's rage quit today. So we're doing all right. Nobody's rage quit today. I am still at the same amount. I have it on subscribers only mode too. So everybody that was in here chatting is a subscriber, by the way, just so you know. Had it on subscribers only mode. So okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And I want to wish you a happy birthday for tomorrow. Good. Thanks. And I will be back on Friday with a regular stream. So
I am gonna sing happy birthday to you one way or the fucking other. You're not gonna stop me either way. Let me do it. Just let me do it.
Fine. Do it, and then that will be your final thought.
Yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Squid Pro Quo. Happy birthday to you.
Did anybody else's eardrums explode? Glasses break?
Fuck off.
I had to do it. You know, I had to do it.
Oh,
Dogs in the neighborhood are complaining. Mary Beth, I am doing a members only because I'm trying to do more members only content. So I'm doing a members only stream, ask me anything / read some Reddit stories because everybody else's drama is a hell of a lot more fun than ours. So
yeah, but the thing is, here people can actually enjoy this, enjoy the content because, okay, they see me on a different side, and at the same time, we cover what needs to be covered. What
yeah,
did I miss?
Richard are you past the spot where Larry reads the scumbag part? BBB claims Larry called him a scumbag and points out timestamp merely reading his letter calling Randy a scumbag. Yeah, he mentioned an email where Randy called him, where BBB called Randy a scumbag. So I believe that might have been the part you were talking about. For the full context of the video, I will drop all the links to these 3 specific videos in the description of the video, so you don't have to go and attempt to find them on Larry's, because Larry has a lot of good videos, but if you want these specific ones that are in regards to this lawsuit, I will drop the links to the videos. We do have 6 dislikes, so not everybody is happy with this stream.
Oh, we know who that was.
That's funny to me. Those are probably the same people that think that I'm having a midlife crisis at 40, when actually the last week has probably been the best week of my entire life. So, just putting it out there. So, thanks. I'm dropping those links now. That is my final thought. Do you have another one before you eat us out of here?
Yeah. I personally think this court case is not going to last long. I've said it all night, but one thing I can't understand is the fact that you've got an individual who has spent the last year causing so much disinformation, so much crap, right? Thinks he still has any leeway or any clout to take another lawyer to court. It just amazes me. And the fact that this whole situation could have been avoided if 2 people would have respected a cease and desist. Simple as that. And whatever happens to these individuals, right? You made your bed, you shat in it, now you can lay in it. No sympathy for me. And like I said, in regards to the little one, I've always had my concerns for the little one living in squalor and living in that situation. And I don't care what your opinion is about me, because if I want anyone's opinion about me, I will give that opinion to you. I have an opinion, and I have a set of eyes, and I've seen stuff that I hope, touch wood, never happens to anyone who is sitting listening to this tonight or who's watching this in the future. I really don't that anyone goes through this. And if you are going to get a lawyer, make sure you get a professional one. Make sure you check the background. Don't just go onto Yelp and look at their reviews, right? Because you don't want to end up with someone like Bruce Matskin. On that note, thank you everyone who have been here, and thank you to everyone for respecting Squid and her stream and her request at the beginning. And much love. And remember, a smile a day keeps the fucking weirdos away.
Being kind is free. Staying in your lane is free, and minding your own damn business is free.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few things that are expensive in this life, but don't go out of your way to be a dick to people. if someone is talking and you don't like them, someone post a video that you don't like, use your thumb and scroll on by.
Exactly.
Ignore them. Ignore the haters. Ignore people you don't like. But always, if we stop talking, that Charlie Kirk's wise words, if we stop talking, that's when violence happens. And let's not stop talking. Later, y'all. You want to get us out of
3,
here?
2, 1. Yeet.